Folks, what's going on? This video is gonna be about upgrading your sound on your 23, or actually I guess just third gen Tacoma in general. So to start off, I chose to keep my factory radio. My factory radio for the 23 Tacoma is associated with my Wi-Fi. It's associated with the Toyota mobile app that notifies me on my phone if my car's open, if I need to start it from remotely, whatever it is. So I chose to keep that in place. And also I'm a huge fan of just the idea of preserving an OEM look on a truck. I love it. And so I try to preserve this look at all costs. Starters, I swapped out the door speakers. I did some 6x9s folk house speakers that are components. So I did the doors, got swapped out, and then also the tweeters got swapped out, and those are component sets. And now my doors are powered up. I chose to power them up with an amplifier that is 5 channels. My rear doors are also swapped out. Also just some folk house. These are 6.5 speaker size. The real challenge really came to where am I going to mount my amplifiers. Yeah, underneath the seat could be an option, but you know, this is a really tight spot. I wouldn't do that. I worry about the mounting aspect of where you're going to mount your stuff. Some people suggested also mounting underneath the driver's seat, but now you have vents here, you know, so what are you going to do with those? You know, on really hot days, you're going to be blowing cold air, which is great, but what about the days that it's pretty cold and you're blowing hot air? You're going to blow hot air onto an amplifier that's already hot. Sounds like some kind of way to really have your amplifier shut off on you due to heat. And so I wanted to avoid that as well. And so I ended up having to do this. I had to remove the panels on the rear of my truck. I didn't want to. I wanted to preserve it, but I was left with no choice. I went out of my way and I bought this subwoofer here, which is made by JL Audio. This is the Stealth Box, which is actually designed to slide into the original panel. But even so, like I said, you know, once I removed the panel on this side here, the panel became super loose, super flimsy, and at that point, you know, I don't want any rattles in my truck, so I decided to just tear everything out. I mounted the Stealth Box here, and it has mounting points, mounting brackets on each end. And so now it's nice and solid. As far as my amplifier here, here's my 5-channel amp made by Alpine. 4 channels are for the door speakers, and 1 channel goes to the sub. And I had to do the line output converter to connect to my amp. And so room was an issue, as you're gonna find out if you do yours. But if you kind of accept the fact that your panels need to go, you're really going to have a lot more options to play with your sound system, a lot more components, something that's going to give you that clear, crisp sound, you know? So what's nice about my sound system is that I could literally go as loud as I want to, and it sounds awesome. It sounds fucking sick. And I think if you're going to do a sound system in your truck, I think you kind of want to go all out, you know? I mean, obviously there's budgets and whatnot, you know? I'm probably totally in on this, maybe like $3,500 for everything. That's doors, that's the installation, that's a subwoofer, that's the amp and the converter, plus the wiring and whatnot. The one thing I am going to warn you is that when your panels come off, the level of noise into the cab also increases, and so I was troubled by it. So then I had to go out, and I went out and I bought some Dynamat Pro, and I lined the entire rear cab with it. And so it has reduced it quite a bit. These vents, I didn't cover up. I think it's, you know, you kind of need that for that pressure release. Which kind of bums me out. I wish there was a way I can just, you know, build some kind of panel or something like that that would just cover this back here. But nonetheless, once the seats are up, you can't even tell. You know, so I hope this helps. Let me know if you need some suggestions or anything like that. You know, I'll be happy to help answer some questions. But it wasn't an easy process, and I hope this kind of gives you a little bit of guidance as far as how you want to do your sound system in your truck. All right, take care, folks.